Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. It is Monday. It's the beginning of a new week. It's the first day of the rest of our life. Happy Monday. Hello, Barbara. Good morning. I hope you have your coffee or your tea. Everybody else, good morning. Wake up. Smell that fresh air. All right. And let's start another great week. Okay. Monday is such an incredible day because we get to start all over again. No matter what has happened in the past, if something has upset us, something scared us, something made us angry, that's okay because it's Monday. We get to start all over again. We get to learn from those kind of things and move forward. So today, I want to drive home something. What I want you to think about is, what does it take to get to the smile? What does it take to start smiling again? It's Monday morning. A lot of people are gloomy on Monday, but I say no. Let's use Monday morning as a way to smile. Okay, so everyone together, I want everyone to look into that lens, look into the mirror, wherever you are, and just look in there and go, hey, big smile on your face. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the smile. It's kind of funny. My daughter always says when I smile, she can hear me smile. It's kind of like my lips or my cheeks are snapping. That whole kind of thing like that. And what I love is that smile, that little tilt of the head, the glimmer in the eye, looking right in you and smiling. Okay, I learned that smile. A lot of people call it my Facebook smile because when I'm on social media, I'm doing that kind of smile. I'm looking in there a little bit and just grinning, enjoying myself, my cheeks up really high. Okay, I learned that from my brother Joe. He told me, yeah, the secret is right before they take your picture, kind of turn away and look back and kind of say, hey, all right, with a big smile on your face. So I want everyone to try that for my brother Joe. All right, so everyone just kind of turn away, look into the camera and go, hey, big smile on your face. Awesome. Now, to be truthful, my brother Joe did not invent that type of smile. Not at all. All right, although he's a jovial, happy kind of guy, and I'm very proud of him. Hi, Joe. I hope you're watching. He learned that from my niece, Linda Ann. Oh, my God, my gorgeous niece, Linda Ann. She is the queen of photobombing. No matter where she is, no matter who's taking the picture, friends, strangers, whatever, she's going to jump in the background. You'll always see her, hey, with that big smile, all right? And you'll know that she's there, and she just like brightens up the whatever photographs that she's in, okay? But truth be told, even her, she told me she didn't invent that smile. That smile came from Tyra Banks, all right, which is tremendous. And now that I see her, I see it, oh my gosh, that's incredible. So Tyra Banks, thank you so much for that. And so right before we start this show, let's all do it one more time. I want everyone to look into that camera, big smile. Hey, all right, fantastic. So I am Marty Jalove, and I am so happy to be on the Diamond Factor experience here every Monday morning because as you can see, Monday's my favorite day of the week. It gets us excited, pumped up. We have so much that we can do. We get to start our life all over again. I mean, think about that. You get to start all over again. No matter what has happened in the past, you get to go all over again. That's why you're always going to see me smiling. It's all about the smile. Now, my feeling is this show here is all about selling. And I know some of us think, well, I don't really sell that much. This is what I do. This is my life. No, we're always selling, all of us, whether we are pitching a product or a service, whether we are trying to convince our little kids to smile for the camera, or whether we are trying to convince ourselves to spend a little extra money on a specific product. No matter what goes on, we are always selling. And I promise you this, if you are not having fun, you're selling too hard. So let's get right into this. So obviously, you can see today I'm really happy. I'm pumped up. I'm smiling today, okay? And today I want to talk all about the smile, getting to the smile and helping other people smile. Now in the background here, you can see many different faces I've got here. And growing up, every one of us, we've had different moods. We've been angry. We've been sad. We've been afraid. We understand that. But my mother, she used to tell me all the time, Martin, smile, put a smile on that face. Martin, put a smile on that face. My father would come by, smack me in the back of the head. Smile. Your mother just told you to smile. Smile. And it was interesting that they would work so hard to get that smile on my face. Okay, no matter what was happening, it was smile. Smile for the camera. The camera's up there. Say cheese. Everyone smile. And it made me start thinking about the difference between genuine smiles and these fake smiles. Now, as a little kid in a big family, I was kind of a little bratty every now and then. So we'd all smile for the camera. And right before they take the picture, I dropped that smile. And that was the days where the pictures weren't instantaneous. They had to be out and they'd have to go out and get developed. They'd come back. My mother was like, "Why couldn't you smile? Why couldn't you smile?" And again, my dad would smack me in the back of the head. "Why couldn't you just smile? Your mom just asked you to do one thing." So the smiling thing was really big in my family. In fact, it was so big that my mom always said, "You never air your dirty laundry outside. You don't talk about what's going on in the family. Outside, it's always happy." So my whole family, we'd be out there smiling and giggling and laughing and stuff. And other people would come to us going, "Wow, wow, man, your family's the greatest. You always have so much good times. Man, my family, we got these problems and these problems." And I'd look at them and go, "Yeah, yeah, it's all good times. I'm smiling. I'm smiling." Okay. So what my mom used to do is push us into saying, no matter what is going on, always smile. And sometimes that's a really good thing. Sometimes it's not such a good thing. When you picture this, you say to people, always smile for the camera. All right, we're going to take a picture. Why is it that we always want to lock in that happy time? Okay, in the old days, you take a look through some black and white pictures, and everyone is standing there very proper. No one is smiling. And then all of a sudden, some kind of a change came by to say, no, 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 you have to be smiling, okay? Because we want to reflect the idea that we are doing so well. We want people to go, wow, you must be doing well. Look at how happy you are. And the reason we push these smiles is to raise ourselves and to put ourselves going, look at how wonderful life is. I have everything that I want. All my desires are filled. And that's why we pitch that smile. Now, it's also interesting because I talk about the pictures, but for passports and driver's licenses, it's interesting because they tell you they don't want you to smile. So for me, when they put that camera up in front of me for my passport or my driver's license, it is almost impossible for me to wrestle my cheeks down because I'm just smiling. And so both my passport and my driver's license have me smiling because they gave up. They just said, "Okay, fine, we'll do this." So like I mentioned about the cheeks, when you look at somebody, you can watch their cheeks. Where are their cheeks going? Their cheeks rise automatically when they're smiling. And people have what's known as smiling eyes. What they do is, you could smile regular like this and nothing going on with the rest of your face. It's still a smile. But when you raise those cheeks, okay, raise those cheeks a little bit, big smile on your face, the whole face lights up. So I want you to practice that too. I want you to look in your mirror, okay? Step away if you need to. Look in a mirror. Look at your phone. Take a selfie of yourself and just try to smile without moving your cheeks. And try to smile with your cheeks. Get those cheeks up really high. All right? Raise your shoulders if you need to. And then just turn into the camera and go, "Hey, that's what it's all about. Let's get to the smile and let's help other people smile." Now, when you look at this, like I said, there was a difference between these genuine smiles and these fake smiles. And as a young kid, I was a little odd. And one of the Christmas presents I had asked for as a little kid, probably 10 years old or so, was I wanted a file cabinet. Most of these other kids wanted a baseball bat or a basketball or a football or something like that. I asked for a file cabinet. And man, when that file cabinet came, I was elated. I was beyond myself, man. I couldn't get those cheeks down. I was so excited about this little file cabinet. It was like 3 or 4 drawers. I was just pumped up about it. My mother and father said, "Why did you want a file cabinet?" And I said, "Because I want to start collecting ads." So as a little kid like this, I was obsessed with advertisements. I would go through and I would just clip things out of the newspaper. I would grab magazines, clip things out, and I started answering everything and starting putting my name on every mailing list you could imagine. I started getting more mail to the house than anybody else. And what I started doing was, as I was getting all this mail, I was looking through it and I was saying, wow, everything here is getting me to the smile. Everything here, no matter how it starts, is getting me to the smile. Now, I've talked in the past about this, the happy, sadness, scared, and angry. And you'll see this a lot in advertisements. They promote a specific emotion, But in some way, they always get us back to the happy. They get us to smile at the end. No matter how they're doing it, they're pulling us into the ad. They're making a connection with us somehow. They're trying to make us sad together. They're trying to make us a little scared together. They're trying to get us to be angry together. And then slowly they twist the ad so we find an escape to become happy. All right, they get us to smile. You read these ads, and there's a number of different ways they do that. They get us to feel sorry for someone else. They get us to go, oh my gosh, I understand that. I was in that same position. Okay, but then they find a solution. And sometimes the solution is very obvious. Okay, you cut yourself, you put a bandage on it. Okay, that's an obvious thing. That's an obvious solution. But other times it's very odd where once you watch the commercial with a little bit more attention and pay attention to it, you suddenly go, what does one thing have to do with another? And that's what I want you to do. I want you to really look at these ads from now on. Like picture 10-year-old Marty flipping through my file cabinet, flipping through ads and reading them and going, oh, I see what they're trying to get me to do. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to start looking at ads, whether they are in the print, whether they're commercial on TV, whether it's a salesperson talking to you. Listen to them, watch them, pay attention to everything they're doing, and try to figure out what emotion they're trying to bring out of you so that they can eventually get you to be happy. All right, so that they can link their product or their service or their idea, their dream, their thought, whatever. They want to link it to happy. They want to be the solution. Now, remember, I think it was last or 2 weeks ago, we talked about the 3 elements in selling. What ends up happening is there has to be a need. Someone needs some type of a product, and I have the solution. Okay, so that's the imperative thing. But there's plenty of people who have a need for a service or a product, and the solution is readily available, but they don't have a desire to get that service or product. That happens all the time. You see it all the time. I mean, that's why store shelves are continually packed, because not everyone's buying everything. So a lot of people just don't have the desire for a specific thing. Why do some people pick Coke versus Pepsi? Okay, why do people say, then I want neither, and I'm going to go with 7-Up or something like that? Okay, why are there so many different beer brands? Why are there so many different bread brands? Okay, it's because people have developed a desire for a very specific product or service. And the advertisers, what they are doing is they are linking this all, I'm pointing the wrong way, they're linking it all to your emotions, sadness, scared, anger, and they're helping lead you towards happiness. This is the secret that is happening. Sometimes it's blatant. Sometimes you go, yes, of course, I can see what's going on. Okay, the famous Budweiser commercials where they have these majestic horses and they have the little dog, and you're like, oh my God, this warms my heart and it makes me feel wonderful as these big Clydesdales are marching through there. There's the one about like the little puppies being chased by wolves, and the Clydesdales come and save the day. I mean, they feel good about it, and you watch it and you go, yes, of course, I feel wonderful about it. But you sit and go, what does that have to do with Budweiser beer? I mean, obviously we know the Clydesdales are pulling the wagon that's selling the beer. Yes, that's the only connection. But what does a horse saving a puppy from wolves have to do with drinking a beer? Nothing directly. But what they've done is they created a scenario, they create a story loaded with emotions so that it connects directly to you, your thoughts, and you get pulled into the story. And you sit there and you go, I love this. I understand what's going on. And I'm part of it. I'm part of it. Yes, I can feel what you're feeling. And I want to get to the happy. I want to get to the smile. Okay. That's why when we're reading a book or we're watching a movie, we're rushing to the end to go, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And great advertisers do this all the time. So they know that people have a need and they have a solution, but they drive home the desire. They really want to go after that desire. And the way to do that is this. They build tension. They build a lot of tension in you so that you're sitting there going, okay, all right, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? They pull me in. I'm very angry. I'm sad. Okay, I'm scared. Okay, or a combination of those. And then just as the timing is right, they give you a resolution. They give you a way out. They show you the back door. They open the door and say, here, everyone run out this way. And you run out there and you're buying their product. Okay. So again, what I want you to do is I want you to smile, definitely, without a doubt. I mean, my company is Master Happiness. I want you to smile because that's so important. But I want you to be an educated consumer. Not only am I trying to teach you how to become a better salesperson, I want you to become a good, honest salesperson. But I also want you to be an educated purchaser. I want you to look at this and say, I am going to make educated decisions based on what I really need. I am not going to allow other people to twist my emotions and trick me consciously or subconsciously into making a decision for something that I might not have bought otherwise. This is so easy to say and so difficult to do, but I really want you to pay attention. And we're going to talk a little bit now about how they do this. So keep in mind, every type of ad, every type of commercial in some way is building a little bit of tension, and then they give you a resolution. They give you the out, the way to escape, the way to get to your smile. And the way to do that is through their product. Okay, so the way that advertisers measure this, the way that when we're creating an ad, or even when you're creating a sales pitch, is through two things called arousal and valence. Okay, what we end up doing is when we're speaking to you, am I speaking to you like this? And am I speaking to you like, hi, I'm Marty, and you can trust me, and I'm calm and cool. And after a while, if I continued to talk to you like this, you'd get bored and you'd switch the station. So before you do that, I'm going to raise the arousal, get a little bit more excited, get up close to you. All right. I'm going to show you maybe some anger. I'm going to show you some fear. Okay. But I'm going to show you happiness too, because eventually, whether I'm throwing it out on the screen at you or I'm saying it in my voice, I want to get you to that smile. I want to get you to that happy place. I want you to find that happy place, whether you think you're doing it on your own or I'm leading you there. One way or the other, I'm going to get you to that happy place and connect my idea, my product, my service, my thought, my dreams. I'm going to connect that to the smile so that when you get there, you want what I'm offering. Okay, so it's through arousal and valence. So arousal, we understand it's get you excited. Okay, get your heart pumping. Okay, as opposed to the down low. Okay, and just calm and cool or very sad and depressed. That's the low arousal. We want the high arousal. Okay, but better yet, we want a variety of both. Valence refers to the positive and the negative. Okay, obviously, happy, excited, elated, the calm, content. Those are the positive ends. The negative ends are depression, sadness, anger, fear, not knowing what's going to happen next. Those are the negative feelings. So what advertisers do is they use a little bit of everything here. Okay, they use high arousal and they use low arousal. They use the negative valence and they use positive valence. And during their story, while they're delivering their message, they're jumping back and forth between all of these, moving you back and forth because they want you to keep your attention and they want to continue to build the tension while they're speaking with you. This goes on and on and on. In the beginning, we can start out kind of calm and talking about, oh, I'm sitting by the beach and it's nice and serene. All of a sudden, a shark comes out of nowhere. Okay. And then what's going to happen? Oh my gosh, I can't find my child. I'm scared. I'm sad. Okay. But then I hear the calming voice of the lifeguard holding a Coca-Cola who saved my child, and it's happy again. So you notice how we used all of these quadrants to build this story, okay, to keeping us excited and keeping our attention. And once we connect with our audience through those emotions, we pull them through the story and we pull them out. We make a connection with them going, yes, yes, yes. How are we going to do this? What's going to happen? Please help me. And we introduce our product, and our product is our smile. Our product is the thing that brought us to smile, brought us happiness, brought us to conclusion, the resolution we've been looking for. And that's what advertisers are going to be doing for you or to you all the time. It's going to happen on a regular basis. Now think about this. You're going to go, I don't know. I don't know if that really happens as much as you think, Marty. And when I was 10, I didn't think it happened at all. But I was reading through this and reading through this. And as I got older, studying more and more. And trust me, if they were doing it way back then, they are continuing doing it, and they're continuing to get better and better and better. There was a story, I don't know how true it was, but Sigmund Freud, okay, who was the father of psychiatry and psychiatry, was studying the human condition. And I think his cousin or his nephew or something was the one who took a lot of his studies, Sigmund Freud's studies, and said, I can use those studies to sell product. I mean, this is how early this had started, where somebody was actually putting science to it. All right. Now, Sigmund Freud never liked it. He never appreciated it. His goal was to help people. But his cousin or his nephew, whoever it was out to say, yes, I can do this to manipulate people. All right. And I don't want you to, as a salesperson, if you're watching, I don't want you to go, all right, Marty, show me how to manipulate people. I don't want you to do that, because I want you to sleep good at night. I want you to create a win-win between you and your customer. Okay. So I want you to look at this and say, yes, you can do this, but don't use it to trick people. Use it to guide people in a direction. And as a consumer, I want you to look at this, what's offered, what people are doing, and understand what's happening, what's going on with your emotions. And don't buy with your emotions, buy logically. All right. So what you want to do is you want to buy with your left side of your brain, your logical brain, as opposed to the right side of the brain. That is the dreamer, the romantic, the one who is swooned easily. Okay. So I want you to become an educated consumer. Watch what they're doing here. So what I was saying was to sell with anger. Think of this. There was a feminine product commercial that pitched the idea of like a girl. It was always called Like a Girl. And what they did was they heard an overtone of a man's voice, like saying things like, you throw like a girl, you run like a girl. And they were putting it off as a negative, a strong negative. And during this time, on the video, on the commercial, they showed videos of these young girls getting knocked down, playing up against boys and losing. And then they started showing girls who were stronger, running faster, throwing better, becoming greater athletes, doing the whole bit. And so what they were doing here was they were angering us and saying, how dare you say throwing like a girl or being like a girl is negative in any way? And they tricked us into getting angry. And then they showed us the resolution. Okay, they showed us the resolution so that we said, yes, I'm with you. I'm mad now. And how do I calm down? How do I get back to the smile? And they put the smile in our face. We buy their product. Okay, so that's some of the ways they use anger. Anger is used all the other times when you see attorneys. Attorneys will sometimes, when they're selling you the idea, they get angry and they say, how dare that other person do that to you? Oh my God, I can't believe this. And they build up the anger inside you. So you're like, yes, let's sue them, or let's do something with them. And so sometimes, and not all, so I don't need attorneys calling me, not all attorneys do that, but you can see that sometimes the attorneys do that. They build up that anger inside you so that your emotion is saying, yes, what can we do? How can we solve this problem? Shock radio, when you hear about radio programs, podcasts that are really either extremely far right or maybe even extremely far left, what they end up doing is they spit vile, and they drag these things. They exaggerate some points to get us bubbling up inside and angry and saying, oh my God, how can we live like this? How dare they act this way? And I want you to look at these people, look at these ads and say, wait a second, why am I allowing them to get me this angry? Instead, look at it and go, that's very interesting what you tried to do. It's not working. I understand. And there's some truth in what you have to say. Get past the anger. After that, you've got fear. There's a lot of people who sell fear. And that's mostly a lot in the fitness industry, the security industry, okay, cosmetics, because you become afraid of, I need to look as beautiful as the next person. I need to be as fit as the next person. And so whether you feel it or not, the way they portray it, they show people up there that are better looking, the best looking. They show people the most fit. And you go, oh my God, I'm never going to be like that. It's a little bit of sadness, a little bit of fear. And then they eventually show you a way to get you happy. They show you a way to find your smile. Talking about the sadness is the same thing. For sadness, the biggest thing is donations. In order to get you to donate, they show people in the saddest conditions and they make you feel like, oh my gosh, those poor people, I am so glad I'm not like that. I will give money because then it elevates me. It makes me feel better because I've helped them. So sadness is very strong. And of course, happiness, selling with just happiness. This is a little trickier because you're staying up in this quadrant the entire time. Happiness, what that does is it's things like I said, Coca-Cola. They talk about it's the real thing, and it's everyone's happy and gleeful, and they're all together because they're happy because they're drinking a Coca-Cola. McDonald's is phenomenal at that because sometimes the McDonald's commercials you look at, they don't even show food anymore. It's just families playing. They're running through a field somewhere and you see mom and dad and the kids and everyone's having a good time. So, of course, if I want to run through a field with my family and smile, I have to go to McDonald's. They were able to create that glee, that happiness, those smiles directly to happiness. Now, I know Barbara's probably going to cut me off any minute, so I'm going to get through really quick. What I've got here is I created a form for you, a very specific form I want you to download. And what this does is it gives you a brainstorming moment. It gives you some time as a salesperson. You brainstorm, write some things about what emotions can you add to your product or service. As a consumer, I want you to watch an ad every once in a while and sit here and jot this down and go, how did they try to make me angry? How did they try to make me sad? How did they try to calm me down? And how did they get me to my smile? And you can go through this entire thing. It's an incredible exercise. And how do you find it? It's very easy. Like always, go to my site, masterhappiness.com, The Secret. Okay, and you'll come to this screen. And right next to here, this is the link to the show here every Monday, as well as links to the last week and previous week's episodes. But right here is a picture of a diamond. And the diamond is a secret, okay? So the diamond is a secret for only those people who are watching the show. You click on that diamond and you'll get to this form and you can download that form. Every week there's a different form up there. It's only up there for 1 week, so download it right away, fill it out. If you want some of the older forms, please contact me. My contact information is here, masterhappiness.com, The Secret. But most importantly, what I want you to do is join us every single Monday right here on the Diamond Factor Experience. So remember, this entire Diamond Factor experience is loaded with incredible speakers every single morning. I encourage you to check us out every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And if you can't see us live, go to the YouTube channel and check out all the other episodes. You will learn so much and you will also learn to smile. Okay. So again, this is Marty Jalove just telling you, okay, whether you are pitching a product or a service, whether you are trying to convince a little kid to smile, whether you are trying to convince someone to buy a Coca-Cola, whatever it is, if you are not having fun, you're selling too hard. Okay? So what I want you to do is become that educated consumer. I want you to reach deep down inside, become that educated consumer, understand what those advertisers are putting in front of you, all right, and make educated decisions. Work with logic, not with emotion.
good morning, and good morning. Happy Monday! You have been watching the Diamond Factor Experience Show with Barbara Beckley and, excuse me, and special experts and guests. Mr. Marty, as always, he brings the smile. It was funny when he said, "Look sideways and smile." And I was like, and then I was like, I look kind of goofy. I'm not gonna do that. I got to. That's a practice thing. So Tyra Banks, I'll start looking at your videos and seeing what you do since it originally came from her, and I'll go from there. And I'll work on some selfies. But thank you, Marty, for always giving that just those tips, those motivational type of tips. And also, with the marketing and selling, it's funny how he said that, they will grab you with emotions, be it happy, sad, or frustrating, and then, they'll bring you back. But, I noticed some commercials, some of them, sometimes they don't bring you back. Sometimes they'll get you down really deep, deep, deep in this, like, oh my God. And I'm going to use the example that one commercial, you see it a lot. I don't know. It airs on around a certain month or something like that, where they have the pets, the dogs or the cats, where they have no place to go and they're lonely and it's raining and they have no food and they're walking. Some of them have like their foot or their paw is messed up or they got in an accident and they're just out there in the cold. And I'm like, oh my God. And then they play that music at the beginning. I'm like, oh. And by the time they get to them, they're like, I want to get a puppy. No, I'm good. Well, I don't even like animals. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. I mean, I wouldn't do nothing about to them. It's just like this is not my cup of tea. I just don't, I can't do dogs and cats due to the fact first of all, I'm allergic to them. So I'm not even going to go there. But I welcome everybody else that has animals. But I'm telling you, by the time that commercial ends, you're up in there wanting to buy one or pick up one or adopt one or something. So I had to say whoever thought of that concept of marketing, they did a good job because they're even getting people that don't particularly, can't be around animals. So good job, good job. But I wish you would one thing, like Marty said, take us out a little bit. Don't bring us all the way in there. And then we're sitting there like, even when the commercial's over, you're like sitting there on your couch or something. So yeah, you did good, but take us back up. Bring us back a little bit. Next thing you know, you want to get every dog and cat that's in the United States. So, so with that said, I hope everybody's enjoying themselves this Monday. I always say, Mondays to me are wonderful. I love Mondays because it starts you off on the right path to just start either, start your new goals or bring some of the goals that you might have not, finished last week. And you guess what? You have another week. You woke up this morning with a smile on your face, like Marty said, and you're moving forward. Now, be it if you're maybe you're tired or maybe you're not feeling your all, but you're here to be an inspiration and impact to others. And I always say that don't underestimate the impact that you have on others. Don't ever underestimate the impact. So that's why we need you. That's why we need all of us. So with that, we are going to go to Mrs. Queen Diamond. I love, love, love when Brandy is on. Every time she comes on, it's like, whoa, I'd be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, okay, Barbara, calm down, calm down, calm down. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. But she just brings the power. I told her when I first met her, I said, you have the it factor. I said, sometimes when you just know somebody has something in them that's so special and so wonderful and amazing, and you just don't know how to say it or how to contain it, you be like, you're just, and I don't want to say you're just good because she's better than good. You just can't find no other words. It's like, wow. So listen to this powerful young lady. I love her dearly. She is moving up. She's a God-fearing woman. She's a wonderful, wonderful coach. She basically is an author. I mean, she has all aspects in every way. And she's gonna bring you some personal, information regarding your life. So here she comes. Here we go.
Good morning, Barbara, and thank you so much. Marty, what an awesome show. To remember to smile, smile, smile big. So I'm going to smile and turn my head as well on the camera. But Barbara, thank you so much. It's a pleasure again to be here with you and the Diamond Factor audience. I just love this moment. I love the opportunity to share with the audience things that I have learned and things that I continue to think about every day. The last time I was here with you, we talked about roots and the importance of our roots and remaining rooted. But this moment, I want to talk about something else. As Barbara said, my name is Brandy Renee. I am your personal mentor. I don't like to say coach. I like mentorship because it really is walking alongside with you in the fire when you have a mentor. And I talk to you about on every first and third Mondays about how to love yourself, love your community, and love others, and restoring those relationships with it. I talk to so many people, and people just speak so negatively about themselves that when I hear it, I'm like, don't say that, because words have so much power. Words frame our future. They frame the world that we live in. They frame even our personalities. And if we're constantly speaking negatively about ourselves, and we're not building ourselves up, we're not even giving ourselves a chance. So I just want you to just take a moment today, at any moment that you have, and really just speak life over yourself. And so, as I said, we were here talking about roots and how important roots are. We're in a season now where the sun is shining, especially here in Chicago, where you never know what the weather is going to be like. But we are here. I'm here in Illinois, and this is my favorite time of year here in Illinois because the sun, you get to go to the lake, and there's so much, and the flowers are in bloom, and you get to smell it. And I love flowers, as I have some right behind me. I love flowers. Now, these aren't real, but I love flowers, and some of my favorite flowers are roses. I mean, many women like roses, but I love roses, and I like sunflowers too. That's my mom's favorite flower. But roots are so important. But I want to talk about what's in the soil. Last time I was with you, we talked about remain, roots. Root R stood for remain. O stood for be open. The next O stood for opportunity. And T stood for trust, the timing, and the process. And S was soar. But I want to talk about the soil. Because just as important as what we see above the soil is what's in it. And that's what makes it grow. But in order for us to understand that, and I love acronyms, and if you've been watching when I've been on, I love acronyms because there's so much power in words. And soil. When I think about soil, I think about what is necessary for flowers to bloom. I was in my backyard, and I bought this house over a year ago, and I was in my backyard. When I purchased the house, it was cold out. It was winter here in Illinois. It was March. In some places, March is beautiful, but here in Illinois, March is not so beautiful. You're ready for the sun to come out, and it's still snow on the ground. So when I purchased my home, it was snow on the ground. So I didn't know what kind of flowers were in my yard, in my backyard, in my front yard. The previous owner had planted some, but I just didn't know what was there. So by the time spring came and summer had rolled around, I began to notice hostas, and they're big and they grow humongous. And then in my backyard last year were a lot of weeds. I didn't really see a lot of beautiful flowers or anything. I just saw weeds and some greenery. So I went and bought some pots and got some soil and put in some perennials. Anyway, the annuals, I put them in, and I put them in pots. And this year I was in my backyard, and I opened the gate to my backyard, and I just began to smile because I saw something that I had not seen the year before. I saw peonies. Now, I love peonies, and they're so big. They're beautiful, the pink, beautiful flowers. And I saw them in the backyard, and it got me to thinking. Now, well, why didn't I see them last year? But I see them this year. There must have been something in the soil that made them grow and bloom that didn't happen the year before. I didn't put any seeds out. I don't know. It must have been like a miracle plant or something. So a miracle farmer came by and put them out. But I thought there had to be something in the soil last year. Something happened in the soil last year that prevented them from growing this year because I didn't put any seeds out. And it started me to think about our lives. And I like to equate our life and where we are in the season of our life with what's growing and what's developing, where we're planted, what's happening with where we're planted. And if you heard the previous show, when I talked about roots, you heard my story about how I was snatched out of one season and planted into another, like many of us were in 2020. And now we find ourselves somewhere else. And as I'm talking about the soil today, I want you to think about it. A lot of times we just go through life and we know what things are, but we don't really know what the really crust of what they mean. So I want to give you what soil really is. And soil is our life support system. Just like for a plant, just like for a rose, just like for a peony, soil is the life support system, and it provides anchorage for the roots. The roots hold water and nutrients for what has been planted in it and what's about to grow and what's about to develop. Soil is the medium for growth. Now think about where you are right now. Think about where you're planted and what's happening in the soil of your life. What's happening under the surface that's causing you to either bloom or not bloom. I want to talk about when I went to purchase this flower, this house plant that I went to purchase is a yucca cane plant, and I purchased it. I had to do research on what type of soil to purchase so that it would grow. I couldn't just get any average soil. I couldn't get soil that would help grow a tomato or grow jalapenos. I had to get desert soil because that type of soil was the only that had nutrients in it that was only going to cause that type of plant to grow. What are you putting in the soil? What type of soil do you have? What are you surrounding yourself with that could be causing you not to grow and could be stunting your growth and your potential? Have you put yourself in an environment of complaining? Oh, I hit something right there. Have you put yourself in an environment of complaining? Have you not seen the richness of where you are? Have you put yourself in a place where you're not speaking positively, but you're speaking negatively? You can't seem to see the light at the end of the tunnel because you have blinders on. Have you put yourself there? Have you continued to speak death over your situation rather than speaking life? And it's causing you to have stunted growth. See, the soil, what's in the soil is so vital for growth and development of who you are and who you are becoming and where you're destined to go, that if you don't water it with positive words, if you don't water it with life, everything, no matter where you are, what's going on, nothing's going to happen above that soil. You're not going to grow. You're not going to develop. Nothing. But we have to make sure that we're watering the soil with the right words. There's a scripture that I love in the Bible, and it says that life and death, or death and life, lie in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat of its fruit. What is the fruit you're eating? Are you eating life, or are you eating death? Are you speaking life, or are you speaking death? That's what I want to know. Because if nothing's growing around you, let's not blame the soil. Perhaps we need to blame what's been watering it. What words have you been using to water the soil? Soil acts as a water filtration and growing medium. Now, if you're watering the soil with death and negativity, then the soil has to work harder to filter out that negativity. And it's taking longer for it to grow, longer for the flower to come up, longer for there to be a bloom, longer for there to be a bulb, longer for there to be a blossom, because of what you're saying over the situation, what you're saying about your situation. Soil is an important part of building process. Building. Every building has to have a strong and firm foundation, just like every flower, every plant has to have a strong soil, has to have the right nutrients, has to have the right temperature, has to have the right pH, has to have the right environment in order for what you've planted in it to grow. Foundation. What's in the very foundation? Some of us, what's in our foundation starts with what's in our heart. What's in our heart? We fear. Just like Marty was talking about, being scared, being fearful. We fear things because we fall into those false evidence appearing real. That's what fear is. It's false evidence appearing real. So we succumb to fear, which hinders the very nutrients that's in our soil to cause us to grow. So we never go past the limit. We always stay in what's comfortable. Oh, I don't want to step out of this comfort zone. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to this place. I don't want to go to that job. I don't want to talk to those people, because we're afraid. And we never grow. We never see what's truly in us because of false evidence appearing real. It's false evidence. It's not real. Get beyond that. Step out of the comfort zone so you can see where you can grow and be stronger in wherever you are. Now, I want you also to think about this. As you're thinking about your soil, as you go outside today, and maybe the sun's shining where you are, and maybe it's not, but as you look around and you see all the flowers growing and all the blooms and everything that's happening, I want you to think about yourself, where you're planted today. And I want you to do this. I want you to surrender. Surrender to where you are. Surrender to what you think could possibly happen. Surrender to what you thought was going to happen, because that's a big one too. We want something different to happen, and we're in the midst of a storm, perhaps, or maybe we're in the midst of the unknown. But surrender. Let go. Go with the flow. Lift your hands up and say, I surrender to it. I surrender to the soil. I surrender to the nutrients. I surrender today. I'm going to let it go. I'm not in control, but I'm going to surrender to the nutrients, because everything that's in the soil is everything that I need to grow. And the next thing I want you to do is forget about the old. That's what the old in soil means. Forget about the old. Sometimes we cling so hard to an old season, to the past, that we can't see, and it's put up blinders. And we can't see the future. We can't see what's next because we're too busy holding on to what was old, the former joy, the former peace, that we can't walk into what's next for us. We can't walk into new peace. We can't walk into a new season. We can't walk into new opportunities. Then the next thing I want you to do is I want you to immerse yourself. Be in the moment. Immerse yourself. I want you to also have some affirmations to immerse yourself in. Get rid of all that negativity. Get rid of all those words of death. Stop watering the soil with death. Start speaking life over. Say, I am important. I am in this. I've been called to do this. I can handle this. I am great. I am wonderful. Speak those words of life over yourself. And then last, L, live. Some of us are alive, but we're not living. We are alive, but we are not living. Live. Live in the moment. Live out loud. Live at peace. Live in joy. Live in grace. Live in gratitude. Be grateful for where you are, because gratefulness waters the soil that produces opportunity, produces destiny, produces beauty in your life. When we're grateful, when we stop complaining and be grateful for where we are. Be grateful. I remember this last story before I go and before I turn it back to Barbara. I remember something. I was in a very difficult season in my life, and I found myself just complaining about everything every day. And it was here in Illinois, and the temperature had to be in the negatives. The temperature was in the negative. I was living in a small studio apartment. I was ready to move on with my life. I felt like that everybody around me was much further than I was at my age and in my career. And so I found myself complaining about where I was. And I was driving down the road. I was living in Hyde Park at the time. And I stopped at a stoplight. And it's freezing. I'm like, man, I just want to get home. My hands are cold. My feet are cold. It's so cold here. And just complaining about everything. Okay. Just ungrateful, complaining. And I looked to my left, and I saw a woman under the viaduct had to be an extra oversized comforter of some sort, with a shopping cart filled with all the things that she had. And she was covering herself. And I began to weep. I wept like I never wept in my entire life, because it was at that moment that I saw that woman. I didn't feel sorrow for her. My heart broke for her, because here I am complaining. I have a destination to go to. I have a home to go to. I have heat to go to. I have food to go to, clean water, bathroom, all these comforts. And here she was under a viaduct trying to keep warm. And it caused me to realize, number one, it broke my heart for the homeless in the city of Chicago. So I began to do something about that. And number two, it caused me to be grateful. I walked into that studio apartment that I had just been complaining about 10 minutes before. And I looked around the room and I said, I'm grateful for the windows. I'm grateful for the bathroom. I'm grateful for the running water. I turned that sink on. I said, I'm grateful for this running water. I turned the radiator up. I said, I'm grateful for this hot heat. I'm grateful for the bed. I'm grateful for the floor. I looked around and before I knew it, there was such a joy that sprang up in me, because I began to be grateful. And I challenge you today to try that. Surrender. Surrender to the soil you're in. It has everything that you need. You're not without. You don't need more. What you have to do is embrace where you are. So surrender. Embrace it. Oh, forget about the old. Let that go. Forget about what you thought was going to happen, what you thought was supposed to happen. Immerse yourself in the moment. Water yourself with words of gratitude, and water yourself with words of affirmation. Water the season. Water the soil with positivity. Get rid of all negativity. Some people say negative energy. I say get rid of negativity in any form. I don't care what it is. Words, net energy, however. And L, live in the moment. Don't just be alive. Don't just exist, but live in the moment. And then you'll see your life begin to bloom. You'll see the beautiful petals. You'll see the colors of life begin to flow when you do just that. I'm Brandy Renee, your life mentor, teaching you how to love yourself, love others, and love your community. Have a great Monday, and I'm so excited to be here with you today, and I'll be back in just a few weeks with more to share with you.
Woo, I like when the music come on. I just be jamming. Thank you, Queen Diamond Brandy. Oh my God, she just comes with the jewels, the jewels. And then when I can tell her when she just gets into that, that last part of it, you be like, do this, you gotta do this. And I'll be like, go. I want to hear more. And then it's like, oh well, see you next next. I'm like, dang, time is up. Time is up. See, when you have something really good, you just want to keep it going. You just want to hear it, and that's what it's all about. I'm loving how Brandy and Marty brings the goods on Monday, because I know there's a lot of people sitting there still probably like, I'm still trying to wake up. Oh, it's Monday. Oh, a whole nother week coming. And we need to bust out of that. Bust out of that. This starting the week fresh. It's like a fresh start of just moving forward in another week. So don't look at it as that, because if you start off that week like that, then like Brandy said, and I always say this too, words are powerful. You put those words out there in the universe, and they're gonna come right smack right at you. Because, well, I did say I was tired. I did say I wasn't feeling good. I did say, and then all of a sudden you're not feeling good the whole week, or you every day you're more tired, or you're feeling more, like, oh, why do I feel like somebody just hit me with something? Because you put those words out there at the beginning of the week. So stop that. My mother used to tell me, stop that. But she used to do it really hard. So stop that. So just stop that, because we want you to be your all for this week as you go through the week, and just you're working on you, your goals, your results of what you're trying to do, and you need to be fully pumped up with that. So if anything I say, or anything that any of us said today, just just do you, be you, and don't let other things get in your way of doing that. Go saying that, I usually open up with something positive, like a quote or something that I read. So I'm ending this show with something, since we're about to sign off and talking about circumstances. This is about not allowing your circumstances define you. Do not allow your circumstances to define you. Circumstances are only temporary. Only temporary. The circumstances into which you are born only begins your lifelong journey. You do not have to stay within these boundaries. Okay? So I'm saying, I'm thinking, going back, going back in my life, where I was bullied when I was younger. I mean, for a few years in grammar school, grade school, whatever they call it now, I was bullied. I mean, every day I would go to school, and basically I was like the torture of the day, because they would even say you're ugly, you're fat, you're not smart, and all this other stuff. And I would deal with that. Now, what I could have did is took them circumstances, brought it into my adulthood, which, I mean, some similarities, I did feel a certain way because I had to work on my self-esteem. When I was getting older, in my teenage, in my 20s, a little bit. So I had to work on that, because I had people telling me every day when I was younger who they thought I was. See, who they thought I was. But I tricked them. I wasn't none of what everything they were saying. I wasn't that. But it took time. It took baby steps. And we want to make sure those circumstances, you don't bring that into your life. That's not supposed to be, that don't supposed to be dictating to you your life. So do not have to stay within these boundaries. As you grow, you may begin to choose the circumstances that you want to keep in your life, and the circumstances you wish to change. When you go through life, you will find your circumstances changing, sometimes for the good and sometimes for the bad. But you have to make that choice. You have to make that choice. Remember, when you feel stuck in a certain set of circumstances, it is only temporary. Temporary. If you allow your circumstances to define you, if you allow your circumstances to define you, they become who you are and may become permanent. See, we don't want things, I mean, especially if it's a negative way, you don't want to keep, into that, well, this is how it is, and this is how I am. One statement I have to say that I really disagree with. You might hear people say, they might do something that you might not, well, okay, I have to say what you might think, because it's them. They might turn around and make a statement like, well, that's the way I am. I always been that way. I'm always going to be that way. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. All that kind of stuff. And it's before, when I was, I was like, listen to that, because maybe it wasn't ingrained in me. When I hear people say that, I'm like, okay, well, I'd be like, as soon as they say, like, okay, well, that's the way they are, we just move on, we deal with it. You know what? I'm gonna take that a step further. Why? Why wouldn't you want to improve yourself, especially if it's something that's hindering you from moving to another level? Why can't you try to change it or tweak it or whatever? Why you gotta stay in that? To me, that in a way, that sounds like an excuse to me. And I hate to say it. I used to say that sometime in certain situations, because then people started. You know how you hear that? Like I said, words are powerful. You hear people say it, and then all of a sudden it sticks into you, and you're like, when you can't do something, or you feel like you're not able to do certain things. Well, you know what? That's just the way I am. So that's how it goes. And then you blow it off, and you don't understand how it's a negative vibe, where now you're stopping your growth in a certain area, because That's the way you are. And you don't have to be that. We can always, everybody's always talking about changing, leveling up, doing something different, pivoting, all these words. And then you're going to stand back and say, well, you know what, that's the way I am, because it's probably fear behind that. It's probably lack, it's lazy, all that kind of stuff comes into play with that. Now, some people might not like what I'm saying right now because we're so used to hearing that. It's embedded in you sometimes. You're like, well, that's just the way they are. Why are you going to jump on them? It's not jumping. It's saying, you know what? Let's open our minds a little bit more and say, why can't we make some changes here? Because you never know, those changes might get you into that other level that you're trying to go to in life, instead of sitting here standing back saying, well, that's just who I am. This is who I am. This way I act. That's the, and sometimes it's ugly in certain situations. So let's not take those circumstances the way you are, and let's just move that needle just a little bit more, just a little bit more. And basically, you will see something that will come out of it that's probably going to be amazing in your life. You'll be like, wow, I should try this a long time ago. All this time I was talking about maybe, this is who I am and stuff. And no, I'm doing something different, and it feels good. So if you allow your circumstances to define you, they'll become who you are and may become permanent. Today, look around, look around, look around. You become aware of your circumstances. Okay? So let's look at the circumstances as, this is the temporary. Everything in life, all your stories. I know everybody has their story in life. You've been through the valley. I always say the valley of life. You went through your ups, you went through your downs. But it's up to you. It's up to you to decide. Now I always say this: if you're gonna go left or you're gonna go right, are you gonna be a victim? Or are you gonna be victorious in it? Are you gonna make the circumstances make who you are? Or you're going to let them make it be your downfall. Now, just a little disclaimer, some circumstances are good. So you might want to, use those circumstances, if you're learning something. But overall, you need to make sure that you're not making the negativity ones permanent in your life. So, with that said, we will see you tomorrow with the Impact Hour with Mrs. Aneri. She'll be coming on for 1 hour, impacting our lives. I know she's gonna bring. She doesn't tell me stuff, so it's kind of a surprise to me too. But I can't wait to see her tomorrow. Again, remember who you are. Remember who I always say: your foundation, your PPD, your purpose, your passion, and your drive in life. That keeps you when you understand who you are, and don't let the circumstances of life get to the point where it's like, this is who I am. No, no, it's not. It's just a temporary situation that you're learning to grow and to move forward in life. So remember that. And what I call the PPD, all in a nice little bow, as I said, I call it your diamond factor in your life. So keep shining, not just in you, but keep shining for others around you, because they need your gifts, your talents to move forward. And we will see you tomorrow.